After today's court hearing, Lil Durk's chances of freedom seem to be slipping through his fingers. The feds believe he may have orchestrated two shocking incidents, Steph and Mac's passing and the tragic death of OTF Jam's baby mama. But here's the twist. The feds believe that Jam is the key to all of it. Through recordings and surveillance footage, they've connected him to Durk's darkest secrets. Is the truth about to come out, or is this just the beginning of the end for Durk? In court today, shocking revelations came to light. The feds are convinced that Lil Durk paid for two major incidents, Steph and Mac's passing and the tragic death of OTF Jam's baby mama. But the most startling claim? They believe that Jam is at the center of all of it. The authorities are convinced that Jam, who once stood by Durk's side, might now be the key to bringing him down. Evidence has been pouring in, and it's clear that the feds are building an overwhelming case. But how much of this is true, and how much of it is simply an attempt to nail Durk for everything he's ever been involved in? The case against Durk has taken a dramatic turn in recent days, with the feds claiming that they have damning evidence to tie him to the crimes. Over 230 gigs of digital evidence are being processed, including audio recordings, surveillance footage, and 20,000 pages of reports. And according to the authorities, much of this evidence comes from Jam's own recordings. It seems like the walls are closing in on Durk, but what if there's more to this story than meets the eye? Things got even more complicated after a chilling moment on Instagram Live when Durk seemed to catch Jam acting strangely. Fans were quick to notice that Jam was touching his jacket and whispering in a way that seemed suspicious. Was Jam wearing a wire? Durk's reaction was telling. He seemed to notice something wasn't right, and it raised a lot of questions. Did Durk know about Jam's betrayal before anyone else? Was he already aware that Jam might have been cooperating with the authorities long before it came to light? It turns out Durk's suspicions might have been right. Months before his arrest, Durk spoke in an interview about his ability to sense disloyalty in people. "I can tell in 5 seconds if someone's going to cooperate," Durk said. Those words now seem more prophetic than ever. Durk didn't just speak about his crew, he was talking about the people closest to him. It was clear from his tone that he had already started distancing himself from those he couldn't trust. But even with his instincts, he didn't know just how deep the betrayal would go. As the investigation unfolds, it's becoming clear that the feds are looking at Jam as the key figure in the case against Durk. The recordings and evidence they have gathered are painting a damning picture. It's not just about the deaths of Steph and Mac and OTF Jam's baby mama anymore. The feds are digging into Durk's entire operation. It's possible that Jam, once Durk's close ally, is the one who could ultimately turn the tide in the government's favor. With everything on the line, it's hard not to wonder if Durk ever imagined his own crew would be the ones to bring him down. But the evidence doesn't stop there. The feds have gone further, linking Durk to another major incident that could have devastating consequences for him. Court documents have revealed that Durk's name has surfaced in an unsealed file related to a case in Chicago. It's believed that Steph and Mac's passing was actually a form of retaliation for the death of Durk's brother D-Thing in 2022. The timing of these events seems too coincidental to ignore. The authorities are looking at Durk as a possible mastermind behind the act. While no formal charges have been filed, it's clear that they are building a case. But it doesn't stop there. On top of the shocking revelation about Steph and Mac's passing, the feds have also pointed to an Instagram post Durk made, which seemed to be directly connected to Mac's death. The post, which was uploaded the same day that Mac was taken out, read simply, "For dang." Was this post just a tribute, or was it a signal of something far darker? The authorities are clearly connecting the dots, and the timing of the post seems far too perfect to dismiss. As the case unfolds, Durk's legal team is scrambling to mount a defense. Their first move was to argue that the lyrics being used against him were recorded months before the incidents in question. Durk's producer has provided evidence that shows the song in question, which prosecutors claim is a brag about the passing, was actually recorded 7 months before the tragic events. The defense insists that Durk never intended to glorify or laugh at anyone's death. But can they convince the court that these lyrics were purely coincidental, or will the feds use them as their smoking gun? With all of this evidence piling up, Durk's legal team is working overtime to secure his release. They've proposed a $3.3 million bond, backed by Durk's equity in his homes and support from Sony Music. But the severity of the charges against him means that the judge was quick to deny the request. It's clear that the court isn't taking Durk's situation lightly. But the defense isn't giving up just yet. They're pushing to present their case for why Durk should be released. If they fail, though, it could be the end of the road for Durk. The situation behind bars isn't helping either. Durk was quickly transferred to a different prison, reportedly due to safety concerns. As a high-profile inmate, he's been targeted by other prisoners who want to take advantage of his position. His legal team believes that the move was part of a larger conspiracy, possibly orchestrated by rival groups like Quanda Rondo's crew. There's even speculation that hits may have been placed on Durk while he's behind bars, further complicating the case. As Durk's case continues to unfold, it's becoming clearer that his future is hanging by a thread. The prosecution has gathered a substantial amount of evidence, and Jam's alleged cooperation with authorities is making things worse. But the real question is whether anyone from Durk's inner circle will turn on him. His lawyers believe that his chance at freedom depends on whether OTF members will stick by him or cooperate with the feds. If someone flips, it could mean the end of Durk's career. But if they stay loyal, there's still a chance for Durk to fight back. But not everyone is convinced that the case against Durk is as strong as it seems. Some believe that the feds may be overstating their evidence. Durk's lawyer, Bradford Cohen, has argued that there's still a long way to go before the government can build a solid case. While it's true that there's circumstantial evidence against Durk, Cohen believes that it's not enough to convict him. The prosecution will need more than just text messages and vague accusations. They'll need hard evidence if they want to bring Durk down. Despite all the drama and legal chaos, Durk remains defiant. In a recent jailhouse interview, Durk made it clear that he's not going down without a fight. He refused to enter protective custody, insisting that he'll stand his ground no matter what. It's clear that Durk isn't going to let the system break him, but with the weight of the evidence against him, it's hard not to wonder if he's already lost the battle. As for Durk's future, the battle is far from over. His legal team is doing everything they can to keep him out of jail, but with the feds coming down hard on him, it's uncertain what will happen next. Could Durk be set free, or is this the beginning of the end? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. The case against Lil Durk is far from over, and the stakes have never been higher. But as the pressure mounts, Durk isn't backing down. He's holding strong, even in the face of overwhelming evidence and betrayal from those closest to him. The question now isn't whether Durk will survive this legal battle, it's whether he can ever trust anyone again. With so many people turning on him, Durk's world is crumbling and his future is uncertain. But as his story unfolds, one thing remains clear. The truth will eventually come to light, and it could change everything.